Checking parameters. Testing core web vitals. Dismembering glasses. Checking statuses. That's the scary one. Okay. This might be the thing that fixes the problem that I had for the thing that needs to be solved for the thing. Let's see. Okay. Oh, weird. Hold on. Oh, no. Something's wrong with the speakers here. Okay, that sounds better. Soundboard working? Alright, cool. Alright, I think we're ready to start then. Okay, here we go. Well, hello, and welcome back. So, last time, I ran into a problem that I couldn't resolve between Tinderdash, and this looks like the correct one, RS Tinderdash, ABCI, and so it was Rust Tinderdash, Go Tinderdash, and Rust Dash Drive. And I couldn't get them all working. And let's see if maybe let's see. 1.23.2 should work with 1.23.1, but not okay, great. So basically they implemented semver matching to say that it can work with newer versions. So I guess we can have an additive API. Wait. I'm a little confused about this. That seems like the opposite. But this may be from the opposite direction. So that might be why this makes sense. So it seems that if you need version 1.23, that's because you know that there's something in 1.23 that wasn't in 1.22. So I'm a little confused because the way this reads is that it would work with older versions, but not with newer versions. So that it might just be that this is coming from the opposite direction in terms of this is not Tinderdash. This is tender dash for dash drive, I think. Anyway, the point being that we can go back and we can test and we can hopefully figure out what to do here. Oh gosh, I've already completely forgotten what this was. It's only been a week, but this has been very it's difficult stuff. There's a lot of it's the whole thing, right? It's how everything fits together. So I think what I'm going to need to do is probably rebuild dash drive. And I don't know which version of dash drive we should be on. Let's go ahead and check and see what the latest is, because this says master, but some of them, master is not actually the latest. So, okay, for example, here, let's find master. Okay, is 2 commits ahead and 46 commits behind v1.0 So what 2 commits ahead is it? And then what 46 commits behind? I wonder if this has been rebased. Because it shouldn't be possible for master to be behind something. That something should always that's semantics, but master or main or whatever the main thing is the main thing, and therefore you can't have messed it up because it's the main thing. Okay, so let's change this. Let's do important depending on check if master or something like is actually the working branch. Bum 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 bum. Sometimes I like to put things in quotes just to indicate that it is an arbitrary value that needs to be checked or verified. So, I don't remember which one we were working from here. Let's see. This one does not have a dash drive there. Let's see if this one, does this one have a dash drive? Okay, dash drive dot, I don't know. Let's go into dash drive here and see ref version mismatch. Okay. Oh yeah, that one. Friday, January 19th. Let's just go with that. So dash drive 2024 119. So I think that was the wrong version anyway. I think that may have been the step that I messed up. So maybe this would have worked if I had caught the difference between the instructions and the actual state of the world. And I don't know if that was my mistake or if it was the way the instructions were written. But we'll go ahead and let that do its thing. By the way, I'm in the process of setting up the newest of the fish tanks. This one, it's a fresh start other than getting some bacteria cultures from 2 other tanks to bootstrap the bacteria, because you don't want to put fish in purified water. They won't survive. I learned that with the very first setup. Well, I didn't understand why everything died, but yes. You can't just put fish in pure water, clean tap water or purified water, because they actually need beneficial bacteria to exist in the tank. So anyway, I bootstrapped this from some other tanks. So the way that you actually bootstrap it before you put fish in, or you can go the route of buying all of the filtration systems and because there is a way to run a tank on purified water. The problem is that you just end up having to do a lot more work. But it's what they'll sell you at the pet store typically, because then you can use it that very day. You know, if you use all of their activated charcoal, super duper chemical filtration systems, then you can use it with the fish that day without any beneficial bacteria. Those systems might prevent the beneficial bacteria from forming, and then let's see, that won't work. Do this instead. Okay, I believe that. Let's just step through these same things again. Anyway, prevents the beneficial bacteria from forming. And if the beneficial bacteria don't form, I don't know what this... Are we doing? Oh, we were just checking to see. But there's a few of these things that I'm just going to have to... There we go. Anyway, so then you always need the chemical filtration. But, nature has its own way. But the way you jumpstart it is either there's actually stuff that you can pour into a low-tech filter system. There needs to be a biofilter, basically a sponge that has lots of surface area for bacteria to grow on. So you can buy these little bottles of bacteria, or the bacteria they're in the air, they're in the water that you get from the pet store, and so on and so forth. They just need to cultivate. So you can either buy the little bottle of bacteria and douse or just basically pour it into the water so that it gets in the sponge of the filter. Or you can get a filter from another tank, or you can buy 98 cents worth of pure ammonia from Walmart, and you can just put a drop in the tank, wait a week, put another drop in the tank, wait a week, and then put the fish in. Because the bacteria you need are the bacteria that feed off of ammonia. And it's important that it's a drop or so. For like I don't know, 10-gallon tank or something. I don't know what I haven't done that method. The safe way to do that method is to test, because you need to have 0 parts per million ammonia in your tank in order for it to work. What? Oh, what? No! What's this? Hold on. Didn't exit successfully. Fetching. Am I missing something? Download and extract Tinder Dash. Okay, so it looks like the wrong tag, maybe? Extracting. Creating structs. I'm confused. Whoops. All right. Okay, I don't think that the first line or the next line here are important. But let's... Okay. Do we have... Tinder Dash Proto? Creating structs. Okay. I think that that's our Docker problem. I don't know how I haven't gone through the Docker step this go around. I need to find the old documentation that I created from the last go around and figure out where that Docker step was. Because there's a Docker step that is not in the... I don't know how I came across it. Because it's not in the official instructions. I don't know how I came across it. But it rebuilds the protobufs. And that shouldn't be necessary. I mean, I'm building a Rust tool, right? So it should not be necessary for me to rebuild protobufs for Java or for Python. Okay, let's see. Fails to build current behavior. Not sure. There we go. Context. What was that supposed to be? Okay. Thankfully, this is actually really easy. I don't know where... Oh, there's the new issue. Okay. And I'm just going to put this in a README. Law.md. What's up, Joe? How you doing? Which Joe is this? To build from source. What? Come on, don't be a lying dog-faced pony soldier. There we go. Go. All right. Boom. Okay. Taken from... There we go. When do we get a cool wallet? Now! How cool do you want it? So here's the thing. Here's the problem. There's always this balance between what the people who want to use it want and what the people who want to fund it want. So yeah, it's coming. And it's going to come more quickly as the things that the people who want to fund it are being demonstrated. So the path is not a beeline to releasing the thing that you or I will actually use, but rather it's to demonstrate the features that the people who want to fund it have been waiting to see so that it continues to get the funding to build it out with the basic stuff. I guess that would be the way to say it, right? Because we already have several basic wallets. So to just show a basic wallet, you know, to build it step by step, you build the basics first. Well, we've done a lot of that, and it's not, you don't really see the ROI on that, right? So right now, I think the focus is more on demonstrating the unique value and the unique opportunity as to get that funding, you know, should build from the latest commit should correctly reference the Okay, so what are we at? What was this thing? v1.0 dev. I suspect that the correct version that either the updated that either the generated protobuf file was not committed and is not being generated during the build, or the dependency is linked to the wrong version. I may have already submitted this issue. Did I already submit this issue? Let me check. Let me see. What is NOA? NAO? NAO? Let me see, we used to have Urban Dictionary, but now we just chat GPT it all. That takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? What does NAO mean? What does NAO mean? Not as optimized? Now. It seems you're expressing admiration for NAO, the humanoid robot. Indeed, NAO is known for its impressive capabilities. Well, you're spelling loud wrong. Look, you got to spell something right in order for me to get there. Okay. All right, so let's see what was the last one. How to install dash drive. Okay, so since last time I got a different error message, and last time I was on master, let's try master again. Hold on. Feb 22? Today is Feb 22. This is such good music, isn't it? We are currently listening to... Oh, whoops. My bad. We do not have the little music mabob. Is it musics? Here we go. Please don't let AI code dash. We would be doomed. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing the skill of humans. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know if you're around, but there was this conversation about letting AI moderate dash drive. Sometimes really smart people say really not smart things. It might have been a 2 a.m. comment. I don't know. Alright, let's try the latest master and see if it will build. Alright, oh yeah, blah. Wait, where'd blah go? Didn't I have a blah? Was blah in here? Come on now. Where'd my blah go? Hold on, we're gonna find this, BZ. Don't you worry. There it is. There it is. Okay, what did I say for all this? Oh. Did we fix that? Hold on. Oh. That needs to be fixinated. Hold on. Let's fixinate this. Crap. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's my son. He's not being beaten. He's just a crybaby. I don't know if y'all can hear that in the background, but I always have the baby monitor on. But sometimes, man, that son of mine, he cries like the world is ending, and it's, you know, I want my blanket. But you'd think that somebody is, you know, ramming him through the heart with a dagger. Or worse, because I mean that would make me, I think that'd make me more sad than angry. It's like someone ripping off half of your fingernail. Yeah, babies cry. Yeah, he's 2.5. Okay. Oh, and actually, we're gonna edit that one out because that one's not necessary for all of this to work. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. But we're gonna use master. Master Blaster. (2024-02). You've got to be flipping kidding me. It's almost March. What? I'm never going to accomplish anything in my life. But maybe I'll breed some fish. I do want to breed some fish. I literally want to have hundreds of neon tetras. I want to fill a 75-gallon tank with hundreds of them. Which, you know, some might say probably shouldn't have more than about 75 in a 75-gallon tank. But then there's those of us who disagree. Yeah, 2.5 is a toddler, and he does toddle. He's not... Yeah, he's not quite to regular human-style walking. He's definitely still in the toddle age. You know, he should be potty trained by now, but he isn't yet. The thing is, he's a boy, and that just makes it more difficult. Ugh. Ew, gross. Gross. I do not like the latest update to Brave, which has probably come down from Chromium. The new tab structure where the tabs just float. Is that happening here? Is that... I don't think I notice it as much with this theme, but this is so ugly. Where the tabs float like buttons, they're completely detached. That's just tarded, man. Who comes up with this stuff? Look, people need to be rewarded for doing a good job by being fired. If you can't move them to another project, you need to fire them. Once something is good, once something has achieved perfection, stop changing it. Because when something is perfect, if you change it, it's no longer perfect. The tab system, I mean, there are some trade-offs. So here's a tab system. Do I like this one better than the way that the Chrome tabs were before? Not necessarily. But, you know, it's a tab system. It makes sense. It looks like a tab system. This is like I don't know, like they're trying to merge the iPad version of Chrome with the desktop version of Chrome or something. I don't know what this is, but it's stupid. It's stupid and it's tarded. Pisses me off. Yeah, in case you can't tell. just so we're all clear. That's the problem. The problem is nobody wants to fire someone for doing their job well. But you either have to fire them because their job is done, or you have to move them to a different project. Because if the goal is always, oh, no space left on device. Okay, we'll fix that problem real quick. If the goal is always, okay, come up with your next design changes for the quarter, then there's going to be design changes that quarter. And it's perverse, but this is why things need to die. You cannot have continual growth, because continual growth is literally cancer. Things have to die. You have to be able to say, you know, that like you get fired. That job is dead because the job is complete. Okay, what I'm fixing the no space left on device. There's a few ways we could fix that. I'm just going to increase the storage on the device. That's how I'm going to fix it. All right, which one was this? This is Evo 3. Let me go into Evo 3 here, and I'll just click on resources. Can I get to Evo 3? Okay, 20 gigabytes. All right, resources, root disk, volume action, resize plus, size increment. Let's, give it 10 more gigs. Boom, task okay. All right, great, and run again. What needs to die in Dash? Bitcoin. That's what needs to die in Dash. People need to stop Bitcoin worship. I think Bitcoin worship is the number 2 problem in Dash. The number 1 problem I'm not allowed to talk about. But I think maybe the number 1 problem would be solved if the Bitcoin worship would be solved. Dash needs to accept its destiny as digital cash. If it doesn't, then it's gonna die, because there's nowhere for it to go. There's no niche for it to fill. Okay, well, while that's doing for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to go look at my fish. And my snails. I got some snails. Oh, that one's a different color now. That's not the color it was earlier. Was it that color an hour ago? I don't think it was. Hold on. Oh, okay. Alright, it was. It just looks a little different right now. Okay, there's that one. Could be 3 of them. Where's the third one at? Okay, there they are. There's going to be 4 total. Nice thing about snails is that they're unisex. And sometimes they're asex. Hey, this is still not done compiling. Alright, I'm back to fencing. Let's see, what else can I do? Can I clean up some stuff around here? So see this long strip here? So this is from some mesh. don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's from some mesh. Like the mesh looked like... If I fold this over on itself, you can kind of see what it looked like. That looks like film reel. That's not what it looks like. Anyway. I've created a false bottom for the aquarium in hopes of providing a way for the shrimp to breed in the aquarium. Taking forever. I got some cleanup I gotta do around here. I'm gonna convert a portion of the shed into a fish room. It really makes it a happy place. I can't fully describe it, but there's something about this that just truly brings me joy. Just watching little critters just truly brings me joy. Seems like I should say that about my children, and to some degree it's true, but oh, you know, the critters. The thing that upsets me about the critters is they die. The thing that upsets me about my children is they scream. Oh, they scream and they whine. Oh, it's like a knife into my eardrum sometimes. Oh, ah. But there's a lot of good daddy-daughter and daddy-son moments. Hey! Okay. So this one did build, yeah? Did we have errors? Okay, so this one made it through this time. Okay, interesting. Let's double check on that. Wait, why is it fetching again and downloading again? Okay, good. That's what I was expecting. All right, so let me go back to the other one. And let's just try this out for a sec. And we do cargo build here. Is this going to complete, or is it going... Okay, error. Okay, good. All right. Just so we're all clear. Okay. It looks like rerunning the build gives a different, perhaps more informative set of errors. Let's see. All right, we're gonna let this run again. I don't know why would, well, maybe because the drive ran out of space, maybe it cleaned up some cache or something. I don't know. I guess it didn't finish, so it didn't save the bad sources or something. I don't know. But I'll tell you what I do know. I do know that I can clean up a little bit of my desk if I finish ripping this Mario movie for the kiddos. I've got a scratched Mario disc because you know how kids are. They find the disc when they're 1.5, and then they just scratch it up, and then you never actually get to show them the thing that you bought for them for when they were old enough to watch it. Well, anyway, that happened. Okay, and we get another error. Let me copy that one too. So that happened. Oops. And then I bought a replacement, and then the replacement was scratched. Worse than the one that I have. So I got refunded for it. So I might buy it again. Okay, so let's see here. I'll put this disc in so that I can rip it. And then I gotta actually run the conversion too. This stuff is too complicated. It should have gotten simple over the years, but I don't know if it's really gotten simpler. Okay. So, warning, error. Warning. No. Don't play the movie. Don't actually play the movie. For heaven's sakes, please don't play the movie. No. What do you mean I can't stop? What do you mean no, quit. All right. Super Mario Brothers movie madness. All right. Anyway, so it looks like I got the full set of errors here. It looks like it's different. I don't know if that was any different. Let's just double check here. All right, take it from the top. Ooh, the top's a very long way away. Okay, let's not take it from the top. Let's take it from the prompt. Okay, so we'll take it from the prompt. And then here's the first error that we encounter, which is the one I saw just a few minutes ago. And then it goes through all that. And then it was continuing to build something, but then I guess it didn't. Okay, so yeah, I'm confident that what's there is right, but I'm just going to paste it a second time. Yeah, that time it didn't change. Okay. Was this the same set of errors? Caused by. Was it gRPC on this one? gRPC? No, okay, so this is interesting. Was it, what? That's curious. Alright, well, okay. Alright, so what do we want to do here? What's the moral of the story? So I think we do want to swap out the one we're running. So dash drive. Oh, whoops. Dang it. I should have built release. Bah. Should have built release when I was in there. Cargo. Build release. Okay, we'll do a build release. Hopefully the hum of the drive isn't too loud. I think it's actually getting noise canceled out. Oh, by the way, I'm not seeing any more chat. Is there more chat and I'm just not seeing it? I need to refresh the chat again, or is it just it's too boring for comment right now? Okay. We're getting close. It always gets slower towards the end, you know, you hit 99% and then it's the 20-minute wait. Ugh. We'll be here till midnight, by the way. Okay. Finally. Put that with the ripped movies. I don't know if I've got any other ones. I don't think I've got any other ones right now. Have we got this thing done yet? Nope. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna try to do, the two things. One, we'll see if the current versions of Master and TenderDash work together, or there's two versions of TenderDash to try, I think, as well. I think it's a similar thing. We could try the Master, or we can try the different combos. But the other thing is going to be to try to get back to the Docker build. Go. That builds the proto buffs and create a version of it that just builds it for Rust. Or pull that out, document it, get it in the install notes or something. But we want to be able to build the proto buff just for Rust. And I think that this is a generator tool. So I think that we run produc, the protobuf compiler, but I think that it's just transpiling from a protobuf file format to Java and Python and whatever else. Well, in the case of Python, I think it's actually exporting C and then Python binding, and I think that's why that one's particularly complicated. And then the Java one, is going to require Maven and the entire universe of Java's version of NPM, like everything does. The NPM problem really is not the NPM problem. We think of it as the NPM problem because somehow it's the worst of them all. But every single package manager, people, even Go, people have abused Go. That Go, if there's any language that got package management with the fewest possible trade-offs and the best possible outcomes, it's empirically Go. It can be mathematically proven that Go's set of trade-offs are the fewest with the best results. It is the most optimal package manager, and yet people manage to destroy it. So I guess maybe it doesn't matter. Well, it kind of does, because Go is better. It's not as bad as the other ones. But even the perfect system, or at least the system with the fewest trade-offs, is plagued by the abuse of humans. The problem with the world is the people. Oh wait, what's this fix? No, we're not going to fix it. Okay, so now that we've got that one done, maybe we should just link it. Let's do that. Let's just link it. Interesting. It's time for me to leave the meetup, but there is no meetup tonight. So there's nothing for me to leave. So I get the sense that one of my own Dappy gRPC. Something that I've done, I'm pretty sure, created this. But I'm not sure what it is. I don't remember doing it. Okay, so we've got that linked to master. We got some other versions, we got some notes. Oh, flippy dip. How did we do this last time? What was the purpose of this one over here? Was this for us to do what? This was running... This is running our Dash core version that works. Let's see. Accepted, accepted, accepted. Yes, okay. So this system is running our Dash core version that works. Okay. Next, please. So... that one we don't need to worry about. That one's fine. Okay, so we're going to take this one, and we're going to move tender dash to tender dash underscore v14.dev 2024 0209. All right, and we're going to try 2 tender dash versions. We're going to try tender dash whatever the equivalent of master or main is, and then we're going to try whatever the equivalent of dev is. And we're just going to see if we can get these things to run against each other. Hey everybody, how's it going? Are y'all ready to get tendered? Oh. All right. Okay. I don't think that this is the one that's going to work. 31 commits behind. I think that whatever was just pull requested doesn't matter because it didn't land in the version that I need. Well, you know, it doesn't really matter. I don't actually need the latest version that works. I just need the versions that work together. Because all I need to do is, essentially at this point, just have the full loop. I just need the hello world. So if I'm a few versions behind, but they work together, that's an acceptable outcome for me. I'm just going to copy whatever my doodle was. Because that was clear. Those were words that I said. If we don't have copy and paste, I just use Image Sniper. That's honestly, Image Sniper is probably the best app thing I've ever bought. It has been by far the most useful. I use it all the time because the days of being able to just copy and paste are over. We've forgotten how to do it. We've forgotten how to put text that is selectable on a page. Humans have lost the ability, but thank goodness for AI image recognition. Oh. All right, so we're going to change 2 things about this. One is the date. What? v0.1.0.0-dev. Did I goofo that, or has that changed since? Who cares? I probably goofoed that. I mean, that's what I copied and pasted. Could have been wrong, though. Alright, and then we're also going to do master, and we're just going to try to build both. I just don't think this is going to work. I kind of just want to skip ahead to the Docker stuff, but I also do feel that as a due diligence, I should probably verify that this will build or won't. We'll try master first since the other one is building master. Again, I'm going to peek at my friends here in the tank. One of them is having a problem where he can't swim down, but I think that is probably... Oh, dang it. I think it's just gas. I think he gulped some air wrong. Because I had two other ones doing that the other day. I don't think they're supposed to be fed the floating flakes, but that's weird because they won't swim down to eat from the sand either. So I guess they're supposed to eat stuff that sinks quickly. Anyway, what do we got here? Python bindings. Okay. Okay. I think I remember this. So if all right, let's get out of here because that one failed. So let's just get out of there. Okay, it was me making a typo on that thing. Because that was one of the issues that they fixed. That was very, very wonderful that they fixed that. Because there's the whole issue of the Python bindings that aren't necessary for the Go stuff, and somebody fixed that, and that was quite nice. So I think this is where we get into the mismatch territory, is I can't build the versions of Tenderdash and Drive that would work together because the protobuf is missing, and I can't use the versions that build because they aren't compatible with one another. Yeah, see, that one worked. So if that hallelujah could just be brought into master, then maybe the rest of this would work. But I don't think it's going to work. But it's okay. I think we can get there. I think we might get there by midnight. I'm not gonna stake my life on it or anything, but I think there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance? Yes, I am. Oh. All right. Okay, that built. Sweet. Okay. All right, I think this is gonna work. Okay, and because that's installing into there, I am going to go ahead and link the one that we're using more as a bit of documentation than anything else, although that could end up being worse documentation. No, I mean, if we follow the steps, then regardless, it works. Okay, so I've got that link there just kind of as a matter of documentation of this is the current version. If we do restart on TenderDash, and we look at TenderDash, failed to start. Okay. So it actually just straight up failed to start. So let's go back and stop TenderDash. My guess is that when we run it manually, we're going to see the same thing that we've been seeing. Do we need to redo any of the config? Oh, I hope not. Yeah, these things need to ship with example configs that you just copy paste. All right. RPC host. Password, that's all random generated stuff. Just for the test network. Oh, man. It's too complicated. It's just too complicated. You gotta strip things down. So that's another thing that, you know, talking about the aquariums. When you've got a problem, the solution is typically that you need to take something away. But that's not the way the sales process works, right? Sales process is, oh, you have a problem with the algae? Buy this algae product and add this algae product to your tank, right? Well, that, you know, then that's going to cause some other problem. If you have an algae problem, probably what you need to do isn't to add something to the tank, although sometimes that is actually necessary. Sometimes there's a missing nutrient, which is why the algae forms rather than the plants growing more. But sometimes it's simply the plants can't grow fast enough, so you just need to give them less light and add maybe a few more plants with less light so that they can grow slower, but there's more of them to grow slower. I guess that is adding something, but the first thing would be reducing the light, and then if the level of nutrients is too high, then add a little bit more plants, rather than adding more light, because then the algae will fill out the difference. You have different types of plants, but anyway. Okay, so what do I need to do then? I need to be running TenderDash node home, right? Okay. So let's try this. Okay. Okay, so this first screen is going to be our working screen. And then we're going to have our TenderDash screen. Okay, so then we're back to the same problem as before. And I think that, I don't know where, let me see if I can go back. So this is TenderDash, this is, yes. So we've done the full loop, we're back around. to the building protobuf problem. Now, what can I do to improve this situation? I don't think I'm a skilled enough Rust developer to do the monkey patching that would need to be done locally to get this to build. Let me go back and look at the error messages with a more careful eye and try to discern where the protobuf failure is. And then I'll go back through my old documentation from months ago and try to follow back to the point where I got into the mix of those Docker issues. Because regardless of everything else that's going on, the piece of the puzzle that I can help solve, even if I can't test everything together tonight, the piece of the puzzle that I can help solve is to provide the instructions for how to generate the protobufs for Rust without having to generate the protobufs for everything else. That I feel is accomplishable. Feel. That's not feeling. That's not a feeling. I believe. So this thing happened in the 90s where the word feel got corrupted because people were told to talk about their feelings rather than to say you say I feel. And this started at the kindergarten level and carried on. And so now the word feel has lost its meaning because we don't talk about feelings anymore. We talk about what we believe or what we experience or what we think, but we prefix it with I feel like. And that's not correct. That describing, knowing what you feel turns out to be somewhat important in life. And this masks that. All right. Okay, there's the WAS and bind. Is that the problem that we're having? Let's go back. Let's look at the better error message here. Didn't exit successfully. Core.proto. Panicked. Could not make protopath relative. No such file or directory. Why would that need to be relative? How did that... Okay, here's a question. Look at that. And then look at this. Where did dash drive... How did it jump from the actual directory to the symlink? Because it's not called dash drive internally. It's called platform and RS drive. So this may have to do with some sort of global level cache, because the last time I ran it, I would have run it from that other directory. So this may be something was run in a previous build attempt. The file existed in the global cache rather than the package level cache, but the global level cache referred to the package level cache. Could be that. To figure out how to clean it. But still, I don't think that is actually... I think that this is a red herring. I think this one is the bit that's actually really important. Okay. This part of the error seems the most... Let's just go straight to this then. This may not be related to the Docker problem. This may be a mismatch, again, between different versions of the repository. I'm going to go chase the Docker problem a little bit, though, just to see and to see how related it might be, and if I can just put a file in the right place when it's built for Rust without Docker. All right, so that seems like this is the most likely culprit. Okay, so let's put that aside for a minute. And let's go back to my rewrite of the documentation. No. Let's see if I've got anything about Docker in here open. Let me look back over here. Is there anything about Docker over here? I'll just walk through these one by one. Let me get rid of some other stuff, though. Oh, which one was... So this one went into master. That went into master of tender-abci. It did not necessarily... get into... Three days ago, oh, and there was... Okay, let's put a pin in the Docker thing, because there was another pull request that I had open. I don't know if it was here. It might have been here. Nope, it wasn't here. There's another pull request that I had open that I think we need to figure out what was wrong with it. So it wasn't in Tender Dash. Because it was valuable. Clarify error message. Fails. Has conflicts that must be resolved. Okay. No, I can't do depth 1 here. Ugh, alright, let me see if I can not do that. That's weird. That's not what I expected. Maybe this is getting other branches that weren't retrieved before. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. Clarify error message. Okay. Okay. All right. Tender Dash requires protobuf definition version. Tender Dash client. I think it's unlikely to get accepted, considering that they've already changed it and they saw my wording, but I still don't think that their wording is clear. So I'm going to commit amend. What? What? Okay. Rebase continue. Okay. I see that the message was updated. However, the hour is still ambiguous since this message will be seen from a client and it will not be obvious that hour refers to the server, not the client. Ambiguous. Precision of language, Jonas. Let's see. Oh, let me not put that. Because that will not, I want to get copyright claimed here. Have the video taken down, but hold on. I'm just going to watch this real quick. I gotta switch this over. My system catch-all is what the output should be on. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go with it. There we go. There we go. Okay, that was dumb. I'm done with that. Sorry. Sorry for wasting everybody's time and life. But, you know, the memes. Okay, so, alright, that one's done. So, I see what they did. They made that more correct. I still think it ought to be more correct. Whatever, they can close it out. I'm not going to cry about it. But, oh, whoops. Hold on. Let's go back here. Look at things that I've got open. These are issues I have open. Okay, that one, I could go back and take a look at it. I don't really want to do that right now because there's other stuff that's more important. I don't really want to be on a reg test. I just want to run on testnet. Okay. Okay. This goes back to... Okay. Okay, so when I solved this part, right here. I don't think that this one is a problem anymore. I'm not sure, because this one may. I think this is for the JavaScript SDK, which we're not there yet. We're not at level of JavaScript SDK. We are at the level of, let's see, Dappy GPRC clients core. Okay, so we're in this general space. Let me go check that error message again. So yarn config. We'll see. Okay, that one's not. No issue there. So we're not on the path of let's quote unquote fix the current instructions, because it's kind of, well, not kind of, it is clear that this use case of using the yarn setup stuff with, it's just intended for Docker. So we're not going to go down that path. We're going down the path of, can we build from source? Because that, I don't think there's too much argument that should be possible. It's a matter of priorities or whatever. Okay. So I don't know how much this is necessary to run Evo, because again, the what I was trying to do back then when I encountered this was follow as much of their documentation as possible to get as far as I could. And then lately it's been taking a step back from that, breaking it down a little more. And can I just, how do I get Evo to run on a server? Or really, it should not have to be a single server. And that's something we talked about before. I could see legitimate reasons, particularly the storage concerns, as to why you'd want to run Evo on a separate instance from core. There's other than some arbitrary stuff, that I don't think that there's any reason that should ever have to be the case. So can I get back down into where product, the proto-C, the protobuf compiler is compiling the client not for web, but for Rust, for Tinder and Go. There's web. I think this is actually a different problem. Okay, Go build. There we go. There's Go build. I don't know if that's actually what we need. This is open API stuff, which previously was called Swagger. I don't even see anything about Tinderdash in here. Lots and lots of so this doesn't, I think this is still too broad. I don't think that Tinderdash needs all of this. So this is GraphQL and a GORM and so in the subsection of, yeah, we have some Go code. Let's generate what we need for Go. Well, this is still a bridge too far. We're not using GORM. We're not using a lot of these other tools, I don't think. GQL. We're using gRPC, so we're not using JSON schema. So even still, okay, here, gRPC web. Maybe the gRPC web is, maybe that does end up using JSON schema or something. It's kind of hard to tell. So I think of all of this, where there's multiple layers of excess generation. This Docker thing is the end all be all for all the things. It's the generator for Go, and Go for gRPC gateway, and Go for GenDoc, and Go for gRPC, and Go for GoGo, and Go for GORM, and Go for Go template, and Go for Go validator, and Go for JSON schema, and Go for all the things. We just need one or two of those gRPCs, so we don't need all of this. And can we just take a moment to recognize the hilarity of writing a bash script in a Docker file rather than writing a bash script in bash, or a shell script rather. Shouldn't be bash, but writing it in a Docker file. What this should be is basically 3 commands for 3 shell scripts that could run anywhere on any Linux system. But instead, and again, this is my problem with Docker, is that people they put the abstraction at the wrong layer. The Docker file should not be your install.sh. Your install.sh should be install.sh, and your Docker file should basically define, okay, well, here's our install.sh for Alpine, and here's our install.sh, or I mean, just, yeah, this is our install.sh for Alpine, and that's that. And that's fair, because, I mean, that's essentially what you're doing, is you're creating a shell script that only runs in Alpine, but you're putting it in Docker rather than saying, this script only runs on Alpine, you can run it from Docker. That's where I would want the abstraction to be. Anyway, so I think that this might be the thing that's the most pertinent to the problem we're having right now, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Tinderdash, again, I'm not even sure which versions are wrong or right or why. I know that there's something to do with protobuf, something to do with GPRC, something to do with Tinderdash, which is in Go, but it seems like the problem is actually not in Go. It seems like it's in Rust, but it could be either or both. Because something was generated and not committed. And by the way, things that are generated should be generated with Go generate. So all of this stuff that's Go, if it was truly needed, which I don't believe it is, this should not be installing things to the user include whatever. This should be a Go generate, because that Go has that built in. That is part of what Go has, a mechanism for generating for code gen. And I think Rust does too. Okay. gRPC Swift. Let me see. Can I understand what's going on here? Is this necessary? So then we go on, and then it's Swift. Oh, gosh, this makes my head hurt. Calimero. What's up, Callie? Is it possible to debug through different languages? It depends on what you mean by debug. The most popular and perhaps effective method of debugging is print line, or console.log, or log, or print, or whatever it's called in that language. And that would be language specific, because you're writing the version of logging in that language, and then you're running the program, and you're checking the output, and you should have an idea of what the output is before it comes out, but the reason you print it out is a sanity check. There are also debugger tools that work on the layer of LLVM and essentially C code. So there's a lot of code that gets transpiled to essentially C style objects. So whether it's Zig or it's Rust, or I think to some extent even Go, I guess if it's C Go, code kind of goes through an abstraction layer before it goes to machine code, where it goes to something that is C-like, and then you can use tools that essentially have, like source maps are in the browser. I think there's something that idea of a source map comes from debugger toolchains. But essentially, if something's compiling down to assembly, you can use a lot of the C tools, even if it's not C. So if it's Rust, or if it's Zig, or if it's some other language, maybe NEM or VLang. I'm not sure on those, but you can use something like GDB, the GNU debugger, to walk a stack trace with the machine code, stuff like that. Why the Docker hype? It's kind of people professing their own ignorance. It's kind of like saying, hey, I'm too dumb to know what I did, and I know you're too dumb to know what I did because I'm too dumb to know what I did. So we're gonna, since we can't ship my machine to the customer and I don't know how to reproduce what I did, we're just going to take my machine and make a Docker image out of it and ship that to the customer. That's a little bit of an oversimplification, but that's kind of how it ends up being, is that people use Docker because nobody could explain what all this does. And so rather than figuring out how to break it down into its component pieces and then provide succinct instructions for the appropriate use case, it's just, throw everything here in the Docker file and pray that it works. And if it does work, anybody can copy the Docker file and it'll work. And it kind of solves a weird problem, because people will say, oh, well, I want to be able to run this on Ubuntu. So then they install a container mechanism that runs Alpine or Red Hat or something else, and then they run it on Ubuntu, which it's kind of a weird thing, because the truth of the matter is, look, the person who designed this, they designed it to run in some way, and you want to go against what they designed it for, and so you put it in Docker. It gets weird. It's an abstraction because people don't want to do the work to simplify, to document and simplify what they've done. And so it's an abstraction on top of that. There are some legitimate use cases for Docker. A lot of the cases in which it's used, it's legitimate. It's just this kind of stuff. It's the fact that we got to this much complexity is indicative of a problem. And that's the problem that we ought to be putting a little bit more effort into solving. Whatever created this complexity, not, well, since we have the complexity, let's add more complexity to abstract it. But anyway, that's hopefully that, I don't know. I'm pretty jaded about this stuff. But okay, I need to go back and I need to see, is this actually related to our problem? gRPC Rust. Is our problem related to a missing command? Is it related to one of these commands being missing? If it's related to that, then we found our problem. Thanks for the super good explanation. I can understand with the low level debugging print number 1 through number 72 too well. For Dockers, it seems to make things more complicated and easier at the same time with another layer. Yes. Yes. Well said. Well summarized. But I like containers. I think containers are great. And yeah, having a tool. Well, Docker is kind of no longer necessary anymore also, but I mean, that's the way of things, because the container management has gotten so good. When Docker was getting super hyped, Linux containers were ahead of BSD jails in their capabilities, but there were a lot of security issues. And Docker provided an abstraction that allowed some companies to over-provision their services. Well, not really over-provision, just take advantage of more of their services using containers, despite the flaws in containers, because they were still not mature enough in the Linux kernel. But now containers are pretty darn mature in the Linux kernel, and the tools around them are pretty good. So, Docker is, yeah. All right, let me go back to this. Hold on. All right. Tendermint abci types.proto. This file contains proto 3 optional fields. So I don't think that that previous problem is necessarily related to this. Let's go back and try this one here. Proto compiler. Okay. Maybe this will be simpler. RS. Yeah. I don't understand main. Main of what? Build script build. Tender dash proto build debug dash drive. Build script build. Okay, let's look for a build script build here. And the one that didn't build was this one. Okay. That didn't find it. Oh, that's not good. Okay, something's going weird. Is Webby broken? Is my internet connection down? Everything looks good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, ping is good. Okay. Uh-oh, something's going wrong. Might be under attack. There might be a denial of service attack going on. That would be kind of a badge of honor. You know that your project is gaining traction when you get your first denial of service attack. There could be something else going on here. Doesn't have to be a denial of service attack. But CPU is maxed out at 100%. What's maxing out the CPU? Python update. Oh. Okay, I see what's going on here. It's unattended upgrade happens to be running right now. Okay, so let's see. Can I upgrade webinstall.dev? Can we in real time give this another CPU? Okay, it looks like the unattended upgrade. So it just so happened that it was running server maintenance right at that very moment. Okay, cool. Now we're all good. I will have to look into that. We need to have at least 2 CPUs. Okay, it looks like That's 15 minutes of downtime there. That was a big unintended upgrade. So I'm going to have to consider what we need to do for that for the future. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let me check on loading IP Mabob. Manage reserved IPs. Oh, really? Reserved IPs only work for IPv4? Okay, so what I'm going to end up having to do there is I'm going to have to fire up a new instance. You know, this is a different problem, but since it came up, and we are trying to get some Dash stuff on there too. Well, I'm going to have to fire up a different instance that has 2 CPUs. And then swap over the reserved IP address. Okay, so I don't need to worry about that right this moment, but I will get that fixed for the future. Okay, so let's go back to our problem at hand. Alright. Nope, nothing there. Okay, so build script build is apparently something that Rust just creates to varying degrees. Okay, cargo rather. So that's not helpful. Where... Tendermint ABCI types.proto. We can look for this one. Nope. Okay. I'm just going to do a search for this error message and see if I can figure out more specifically where it comes from. I'm going to do a good old web search, as it were. Interesting. So there must be some really old version here. Oh, that's different. Okay. This looks familiar. Protalk Gen. Okay, Protalk C. All right. So we might have an older version of Protalk C. That actually could make a lot of sense. Let's see what version we have. Because if it's installed via apt, it could be decades old. You know what I'm saying? What's the current version? Okay, 3. So that should be good, right? .3.15. Okay. So let's try changing the version of Protalk C that we have installed. Okay. Oh, what was this one? Oh, okay. That's the documentation update once it's time. Okay, note. As per usual. You know, this is something that we should put on Webby. Oh no. Hmm. Good thing I put that in its own folder, because, as is sometimes the case, the zip file didn't have a folder in it. Normally, the folder is the name of the file, and I think Windows forces this, but Linux follows what's in the zip file for better or worse. I kind of agree with the way that Windows does it. If the zip file doesn't specify a folder, it should just create one. That doesn't seem right. 25.3? That doesn't make sense. Holy crap. That can't be real. We're talking a difference between version 3 versus version 25? Is that real? That can't be right, can it? Okay. Oh, let me not do that, actually. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so do we need to go grab Sealang as well? First, let's look back at our recent history. Okay. So I'm guessing we might also need a recent version of Sealang, so let's go check that out as well. There we go. Similar thing for this. Let's okay, what 17? So we probably need to get this on Webby too. Using downloads rather than temp in the documentation here as a security thing. Because if it were a multi-user system, then somebody could just swipe it out from underneath you, of course. Let's go to this. Failure writing output to destination, huh? Are we out of disk space again? Yep. All right. Increasing disk space again. Let's see. Here we are. Resources, root disk, volume action, resize. Let's give it another 10. The system is becoming quite bloated. I know that, well, I don't know, but I think that if we did this from scratch one more time, I think we'd end up only needing about 20 gigs. The thing is, we're building multiple copies of this, and we have multiple versions of the same thing installed, and yada yada blah. Oh. I need to go. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it till midnight. I might have to go take a potty break. Unmute. That's a big file. I might have to resize the disk again. 40 gigs is not small. Okay. Time left, 60 seconds still. Not sure if I should try to swing for a potty break or not. Well, we don't need to worry about that. We might be getting pretty close, because these may be version conflict issues, not code issues. So that this doesn't really feel like the Docker thing per se. At least not with how far we've gotten so far. It is really sad that they put the Ubuntu version in here. I mean, I guess it's to make people feel more comfortable, but it should just... It's either a GNU system or it's a muscle system. The Ubuntu shouldn't matter. But I guess there's probably libc and maybe some other stuff. We just tried to run this, there might end up being a bunch of things that are needed. Alright, let's look at summary. And disk usage is climbing steadily. We're back up to 82%. I'm just going to bump it. I'm not going to let it hit the limit. I'm just going to bump it another 10. There we go. Alright, now we're down below 70% again. Okay. Alright, so for future reference, this one would have been that we just go into here, and then we zit that, and then we would do zit. Weird to have a plus in the path, but what do you do? Hey. Hey! I think we got past. Oh, this will be.
This was a triumph. Making a note here, huge success.
I think this is getting further than it got before, although I ran build, not build release. But 552 out of 554? Yeah, I guess when LLVM is a build tool, you should be using Webby to install the build tools. So I think... Hey, this is exciting. This is going to be a high note to end on if this builds. I'll save the trying to get it all working for tomorrow. Okay. Alright, let's do the release version. And then I'll call it a night. In the interim, I'm going to go into the fish room and try to pick out some plants for the new batch of shrimp so that they don't get stressed out and kill themselves. Because, much like people, shrimp are really into self-deletion. Particular rock I've got here. Oh, it's still building? Alright. I will, done with this yet? Nope, still building. This is exciting though. This is next level. All right. Oh, still building. Still building. All right, and we're done. Sweet. Okay, cool. So this looks like, oof. I don't even want to test it right now. I don't even want to test it because I don't want to know. If it, especially if it doesn't work. I don't want to test it. I don't want to do it. Oh. See? Told you I didn't want to test it. Should have just been happy enough with the fact that it worked at all and left it alone at that. All right, so there is some configuration. That's not so bad. We could probably just do a quick search and figure this one out. Oh no. LLMQ test? Eh. Whatever this is. Methinks maybe these were just prefixed. Maybe that's what changed. Yeah, quorum size, something, something. All right, ladies and gents, that's a wrap for the night. Let's end it on a high note. Leave it on that high note. There we go. Okay. Peace. Adios.